was about to say that. Respect, I think, is the key. You know, we all look at each other. I mean, I'm a fan of my co-stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that's silliness.
You gotta get closer to the mic.
They can't. I love it. You can't do what we do every day without being a little silly. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be able to kind of, and I think that's the beauty of the series, because it's not just, you know, for, it's not just 2 hours, 3 hours, and then hit it and quit it. You know what I mean? You actually get to get deeper into, you know, the lives of the narratives and who these people are. And the thing is that we're all human. You know, no matter, I mean, I know my mama, anything that we went through as kids, she always found time to make us laugh. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty of this life. That's the beauty of anyone who has struggled or has, you know, not always had it, or even if you had. It's just the different colors. And I think that's always present in Underground with our writers. Misha and Joe is just brilliant writers that you're just like, wow. And so it's not like just wading in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's like right now people are going through too, but we still find time to laugh. We're still here right now. Look at the state of our world, and we still find time to be like, you know what, I'm going to take my kids to Comic-Con.
That's that real.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you gotta learn how to laugh through the pain.
Absolutely.
You know? But I mean, another part of what really drives us on set.
I had to get you back.
Another part of what drives us is the fact that, I mean, personally, I know we're all very proud of this. Yeah. So whenever hard scenes come up, you know, I was talking about this the other day. It's like, it's not like taking a shot. You know, I love it. Let's get hard, let's go there, let's get crazy, and let's show that truth, because honestly, somebody's gonna watch this, they're gonna learn from it, and they're gonna say, we can't never repeat this, you know. And then also, because we're telling human stories, not stories about things or machines or, you know, items as these people were displaced and described as back then, you know, we're talking about real, human, genuine lives. This says so much, and we're at the precipice of a new sort of, a new interest in it, where we get to take full advantage and show as much and teach as much as possible. So there's a lot of pride attached to what we do. So whenever it gets crazy, I'm down for it. You know what I mean? And we're all down for one another.
I know, and I'm sorry, we're supposed to be letting y'all ask questions. But like, it's also, you know, this has been a legacy of trying to psychologically mess us up. So, you know, so like the excitement right now, even just being here after having had a season in our pocket and really working right in the middle, working on season 2, is like, we're proud. We're finally seeing it the way we should have seen it our entire time, that we come from a legacy of heroes who went through this horrific time, but came out of it, who were fighting. There were thousands of people, like to think of Harriet Tubman, first of all, to make it out is a huge feat in and of itself, but then to go back and bring other people out, and this is our legacy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we've just been that mental slavery of just being like, oh yeah, we're not going to talk about it, and why are we doing another slave piece? It's like that was a part of what they were like, oh yeah, we're going to keep infecting them with that, so they don't ever take pride in who they are and what their people did.
You better preach.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh wait, we're changing it. We're like, oh wait, this is wrong, and we are proud, and we are strong people. And as a country, it was the first black and integrated civil rights movement, blacks and whites coming together to say hell no. And like, that's what we need right now, and that's what we're doing right now.
Americans,
and right, all colors.
Everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're gonna let y'all ask questions.
Yeah.
Part of keeping it real, he says, is the look and the authentic way, the clothing, everything you guys are wearing. Are you concerned about, hey, we want to see it on a bigger screen so everybody can see all the detail and the stuff we're going through?
I mean, I think people get it. You know, they feel it. I mean, it's already, you know, pushed out on the bigger screen by different conduits. You know, like Birth of a Nation and all that. Shout out to the homie Nate Parker, but. You know, for us, I think it's really effective to be on the small screen of somebody's home. It's where they're comfortable. It's where they're going to receive that information differently.
It's where they're sitting with their kids and having a conversation.
You want it to be a family.
It's more personal. They can focus on it more, because, you know, when we go off, they don't have to go get in the car and go leave. They can just go back to the living room and sit and have a chat, as he said. So I like where we're at. I think where we're at is perfect for the content and what exactly we're trying to do and what's been accomplished this last year.
All right, I got a question. You sent a shout out to Nate Parker, so I gotta ask, how do you feel about like taking liberties with authenticity of certain historical events, Black history? You know, because there have been a number of articles coming out talking about the authenticity of Birth of a Nation and the actual tale. So how do you feel about that, with people taking liberties with that? Like,
well, I'll say this, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't seen it yet, haven't had the time to try it. I'm not about to speak against it, because I don't know. But what I'm proud of is the effort to put that story on, and I'm proud of the fact that it actually got accomplished. So in terms of liberties, we're artists, we all take liberties. No biopic that you've ever seen has been 100% accurate. I've done biopics. You know what I'm saying? I've done a whole host of them. This is what we do. And then every story that you've ever heard, you know, there's always a little liberty taken, whether it's written down, whether somebody's telling you, whether somebody's putting it on the screen. So there's no difference in the artistry, the artistic engagement. You know?
I want to tag onto that too.
Yeah.
Also, I think too, we have a responsibility as viewers. I think, you know, we're getting lazy in this new millennium of just like, oh, you know, I'm going to just blame everyone else for not, you know, it's also like, let that be a trigger for you to say, ooh, let me pick up a book, let me do my own research, let me find out more. And if it's inspiring you to talk to your kids about that, but no one these days, you know, should say, I went to a movie and I found out about my history just from watching 2 hours of a movie. Like, that's our responsibility too, to go deeper and to really find out more. You know, everyone thinks like, I'm going to get educated on Twitter.
Because the
You know?
point of the film,
It's like, and then we mad at the person who's an artist, who's kind of doing their version of it. You know, we're artists at the end of the day.
because the point of the film is, look, it's to inspire you. Like she was saying, it's to inspire you to go learn. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a problem with it, go learn the history. But also at the same time, growing up in school with real history books
Right. It
didn't
still
tell the
wasn't
truth.
accurate. Right.
They did not tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just us as artists and movies and film that do this. It's what we've been taught, what we've been conditioned to, and what we do is, as artists and entertainers, we try to inspire people to go, and we try to plant the seed of knowledge and curiosity to go find out more. That's what we do. So if people are saying, oh, this is not right, and they go find out, then he's done his job.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. Yo, thank you so much, man. Sweetheart, thank you so
Hey, man, I
much.
appreciate it.
Yo, this is crazy right now. We about to talk
Thank you very much. Good luck with the show.
Sorry, yo, you like ate up all y'all time.
97 baby, lift my hand. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's right there.
No problem. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I just shook your hand. Like, this is crazy. It did happen. Oh my god. Oh my god. So we got Mike. Oh my god. All right. So the first question, and the first question to you, Aisha, and this is just powerful. But what I want to ask you is, what strength did you find within yourself to be able to not only accept the role of Harriet Tubman, but to be a part of her legacy to carry on for the new generation that's going to watch it today? And Mike, as a producer, would you ever consider taking this TV show and turning it into a video game where people could actually interact and control the scenarios that happen?
I can't even touch that. Trying to set me up, man.
Yeah, I am. What's going on?
That's a dope idea,
That's a
but
dope
You can take it. You can take the mic.
that's a dope idea. But responding to the question that you asked, in terms of the strength that I found, I'm still trying to find my strength. I'm still trying to steady my legs and stand upright, because honestly, from the day that this role even started to point itself in my direction, I think I've been weakened at the knee, you know, since that day, because just undertaking such a tremendous figure, just, you know, walking anywhere near the history, the woman, the powerhouse that is Harriet Tubman, is such an incredibly humbling experience. And so honestly, the first thing that I just wanted to do was get way out of the way, you know, and just allow her to, you know, I just surrendered all my faculties. I said, Mother Tub, listen, just take it, you know, take my arms, take my hands, take my voice, take my eyes, and have your way. Just let your spirit just move through me, and let's do this work, you know, because it goes without saying that we could use a Harriet Tubman right now, you know, in this generation. And so I'm thrilled that I can, you know, sort of resurrect her, if you will, for this generation to experience.
That's amazing. Come on, Mike.
So about the video game, I guess we could like fill it with a bunch of Trumps running around. That's all.
That's all you needed to say right there. That was woo.
So I got to
Go ahead,
bro.
Tell me a little bit about the process of first
immersing yourself in these characters and getting involved in this strip, you know, like going through all this historical data, you know, that showcase some violence and just a deep appreciation of lives that was taking place during that time in history. Just to come home and see that transmitted on the TV screen in front of you again, with things like issues like mass incarceration and police violence in the black community. You know, like you're actually working. It's like you're not leaving this sense of discrimination. You're seeing history continue to unfold and even backtrack in certain stances in life. How do you stay positive and motivated to continue to do, you know, like this work despite it?
Yeah, I think we're not too far away from 1800s antebellum South. I mean, we have come a long way, but the struggle is still real. I think the show's really timely. I think if you look at prison reform, we've visited several jails over the last 18 months. My partner John Legend, started a thing called Free America, which deals with prison reform and mass incarceration. So it's an issue that's really near and dear to our heart. And it is organized slavery. We are at war still in our own country against a lot of folks that don't look like us. We're at war against judges who get paid to send young black, brown boys and girls to prison. We're at war with some crooked people that carry guns in the name of law and order. And I think that's very similar to what our characters in the underground had to deal with. You're fighting for your life, you're fighting for your freedom. So I think to be a part of a show that kind of addresses these issues, it's important. It's an honor to kind of be able to be part of that storytelling, and it's a responsibility. I think, you know, the more access you get to this Hollywood machine and the more that they allow you to kind of tell stories, I think as a brown and black producer, that you have a responsibility to tell our stories. And people sometimes say Underground's a hard show to watch, but it's a lot easier to watch it than you have to live it. And there's a lot of us still living it, and we just have to take that seriously. So I can speak for myself. I know when I go home at the end of the week and I see what we've created, I'm proud. But the work is just beginning. Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, life on Earth. We just have to keep fighting and, you know, take our responsibility serious, because the platform is not given, it's earned. And we've earned it, and we have to do what's right.
How hard do you have to fight to make the show look authentic? Because it looks period perfect, and you want us to feel as real as it can be, especially
Well, I mean, this shit happened in America. We don't have to really create sets. We just have to drop into cities where, you know, Baton Rouge, we're at LSU's campus, and we're on real slave quarters. And Savannah, like, yeah. So, I mean, it's real authentic because it's the real stuff. It's our history.
Can you talk a little bit about Get Lifted and the projects that y'all have coming out of there? I read an article you did a while ago, an interview.
Oh.
And you spoke a lot about the HBO stuff you're doing, the Southside film that y'all just released, and things that you were working on. So can you talk about some of those? What we can expect besides Underground?
Yeah. Well, we just sold another show to Wgn that we're extremely excited about. It's about Black Wall Street. You know, Black Wall Street, like 1910, like 1921, Greenwood, Oklahoma, Black Excellence. It was the original FUBU, For Us, By Us. And it worked for a while, and then, you know, folks got upset and burned it down. We have a film called La La Land coming out in December, which we're executive producers of, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone and John Legend. We have a lot going on now. We have a play that I can't really get into, but we have a play opening up on Broadway in January. Wow. That y'all will hear about. It'll be our first Broadway play, so we're excited about that. Brown and Black.
Wow.
This is crazy.
We're just trying to keep it real, man. We're, like I said before, we're just trying to use our platform for good. We're trying to tell stories that highlight our people. For the most part, La La Land clearly is not highlighting our people. But it's a good movie. It was fun. But for the most part, Get Lifted is just about exactly that, getting lifted, you know, and just, again, taking the responsibility of the platform seriously, man. And with John as the face, and John is a guy who runs to the fire. He doesn't put a paycheck ahead of what's right. that's kind of our mantra at Lifted. Do what we got to do to tell the stories we got to tell.
Hey, Aisha. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Belonging on WGN, are you giving more freedom as to how you can tell your story as opposed to other networks? You would feel?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh wow, good question.
the great thing about WGN is they're getting their legs as well. We're their fourth show, so there's a wonderful opportunity to kind of grow with the network. And for our company, Forget Lifted, and with Black Wall Street now on the heels of Underground, like we're going to help to find that network. And again, that's a responsibility we take very seriously. But NBC, like the bigger networks, the more established networks, they kind of have their thing. WGN's figuring out what their thing is. And right now, their thing is us.
Underground.
Did you run into any type of conflict of how they wanted the show to go, or there was no problem at all?
I literally can tell you they've been the greatest advocates for what we want to do. Even with Black Wall Street, I walked into a meeting with Matt Chernis and John Wax, who are the president and SVP, and they knew nothing about Black Wall Street. And an hour later, I had a home for a show with no pushback, no nothing. All they said was, want to be a part of telling great stories, want to support you guys in your platform. So let's go. So they've been wonderful partners.
That's amazing. The question for you, Aisha, what song, if there was one song you can use in the world to define Underground as a whole, what song would that be?
Well, I think.
You better say the right song.
I know.
Yeah, because
at first I was going to say Beyonce's Freedom, but then I was like, wait, but John Legend.
You gotta use John Legend's song.
Put that mic down. You don't have to use that mic.
I just love your smile. Like,
Honestly, I would have to probably say. No, I'm not. I wasn't going. It probably is between Beyonce's Freedom and Kendrick.
yo, that's
I'll give you a
hard.
spoiler though.
Oh yeah, let's get that.
We do have an original John Legend song that will be heard in season 2. I can say the name, right?
You can say the name. You can say the name. 97. You can say the name.
We're gonna have a new John Legend song called "In America" that drops on season 2.
That already sounds crazy. In America, like.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. One love and God bless, man. Thank y'all so much, Mike. God bless you, Aisha. God bless you, Princess. Seriously. Appreciate your podcast behind the Underground. Go check it out now. See you out, baby.
I would really like to reach out to you.